This is the only build you will ever need in NBA 2K26. A build that dominates in every single game mode because it has a 95 plus stat in every category. I'm not joking, this build has a 96 driving dunk, a 97 perimeter defense, and a 96 mid-range rating, which means you get legend finishing badges, legend shooting badges, and legend defense badges. Not to mention it has a maxed out ball handle and maxed out speed with ball, which means in takeover you also have a 95 speed with ball on a 6'7" demigod build. Okay, Grinding, that sounds good, but slow down. I thought 6'7" builds were no good because they don't get lightning launch as a tier 2 badge like 6'8s do, and you're 100% right. But there's one thing that nobody considered until now. It is physically impossible for a 6'8" build to get a 96 mid-range and a 96 driving dunk. I promise it is. Try it yourself. They limited the builders so you can't get those two overpowered attributes on a 6'8" build. But guess what build you can get it on? Yup, this 6'7" build right here. So today I'm gonna show y'all exactly how this build plays. Then I'm gonna give you the build, the jump shot, the badges, the dribble moves, everything you need to know to dominate on day one. That means we got a lot to talk about, so let's get into it. And if you want free VC from me to make this build, all you gotta do is subscribe with notifications on, like the video, and comment 6-7 in the comment section, because I already know we got some brain rotted comments already doing that, and I will pick the winner in tomorrow's video. So make sure anytime you see a noti from me, you click it super fast. Now y'all, we finally did it. We finally found my end game ISO build. Not only can you make this 6'7" ISO build today and dominate with it in the park right now, but the way we perfectly set it up makes it to where as the seasons go on, this build only gets better. And I could show y'all hand-picked highlights of this build looking OP all day long. But what you just saw on the screen is how we ISO on this build. Whenever we ISO on this game, we are looking for threes. It is super easy to shoot this year. I never understood why everybody is trying to rim run when you could just hunt for threes every single possession. But then I realized most people aren't going 96 MIDDY or 96 3-point rating on their builds, which means they have no idea how insane the green window feels on a build like this. If you watch my streams, which by the way are all on Twitch from now on, so make sure you go follow my Twitch. The link is in the description. We are live every single day doing my 60 to 99 overall challenge, 6'9" Cooper flag build. But if you've been tapped into my streams, you see that a lot of the times I say, oh, I missed that, and then the shot just snaps green by itself. I am literally mistiming my jump shot, but the green window is so large that it's still technically green because I'm edging the green window. Absolutely insane. I could brag about this build forever, but I'd rather just show y'all instead. So let's get into the build. You know why you're not hitting shots like this? It's because you want to spend all your money on VC upgrading your trash builds instead of upgrading your controller. You don't need a 99 3-point rating build to be good at this game. What you need to do is invest into your controller so it can keep up with every input and have you torching your defenders. And man, Control Freak got me right. Their new clutch product thumbsticks have saved this game for me. Y'all know that rhythm shooting is super overpowered, but what nobody's talking about is the damage it's doing to your right stick. I've gone through 3 controllers already off of stick drift alone, but these clutch edition thumbsticks have an increased surface area to upgrade your grip, improve your movement, and reduce the strain on your controller. This small investment will save you hundreds of dollars down the line because you won't have to be like me and go through controller after controller just to green your shots. So what are you waiting for? Go to controlfreak.com or just click the link in the description and use code GRINDING to get your clutch thumbsticks today and dramatically improve your gameplay overnight. Thank you to Control Freak for sponsoring this video, and let's get into it, yo. Alright, y'all, first things first, my version of the build, which I call the perfect build. Not only because of how strong it is the second I make it, but this build, as I keep getting more and more cap breakers, only gets more overpowered each season that passes. And I'll explain why in a sec, but first, the build is a point guard, 6'7", minimum weight, which is 180 pounds, and the wingspan is 6'8". And here are the attributes we put in the builder. Now let me walk you through why this build is min-maxed to perfection. First off, as y'all know, right now I have 16 cap breakers. So our first 10 cap breakers are gonna go on our ball handle and speed with ball to max it out at an 86 ball handle and an 83 speed with ball. Our next 4 cap breakers are gonna go on our mid-range to give us a 96 mid-range, and our final 2 cap breakers at our disposal are gonna give us a 93 driving dunk, which gives us access to gold posterizer and a bunch of contact dunk animations. But that is just the tip of the iceberg when we're talking about this build. As the seasons go on and once I hit legend, we're gonna get more and more cap breakers, which means even though off rip we're gonna have a 93 driving dunk, a 96 midi, and a 92 perimeter defense, that is quickly gonna turn into a 96 driving dunk, which is gonna give us elite contact dunk soft too because we have an 82 vertical, a 97 perimeter defense, which is gonna give us access to every defensive badge on Legend with our max +1s, as well as gold immovable enforcer. And if you haven't peeped yet, we went a 73 strength on purpose because after we capbreaker our ball handle to max, we get gold strong handle off rip, which if we wanted to, we could max +2 to Legend strong handle on a 6'7" build. Not to mention we have a 70 defensive rebound and an 82 vertical, so we're absolutely snagging rebounds. We have a 73 steal, which is the perfect amount of steal with how the game is. Y'all know that glove barely works, so interceptor is all you really need. We have a 72 block with a high vertical, so our contests are peak. And we have a 74 interior defense with our 6'7" frame, so we never get bullied in the paint. Absolutely insane how good this build was the second I made it with my 16 cap breakers, and it's just ridiculous to think that I'm gonna have a 97 perimeter defense, 96 driving dunk, 96 midi build when we get to endgame of NBA 2K26. Now, when you make this build exactly how I did in the builder, you get shades of Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, and you get the build name two-way mid-paint scorer. The only weaknesses they have to list are your playmaking, because technically in the builder you have like a 65 ball handle, which means in reality we have absolutely zero weaknesses with A grade strengths in every single category. Shooting, defense, finishing, and playmaking, once we put our cap breakers, which is completely maxed out, is all in A category, which means we made the perfect all-around build in NBA 2K26. And y'all, just look at the badges. This is when I made the build with 16 cap breakers. We have Legend Set Shot Specialist, Legend Challenger, Legend Shifty Shooter, Legend Deadeye, Gold Immovable Enforcer, Gold Limitless Range, Hall of Fame On-Ball Menace, Hall of Fame Pogo Stick, Legend Off-Ball Pest, and Gold Box Out Beast. Ridiculous. Absolutely insane build. We could have Legend Strong Handle if we felt like it. Later on, we're gonna have Legend On-Ball Menace, Legend Pick Dodger. It is just going to be insane. Now, every time I drop a build video, y'all are always asking for the dribble moves, so here are the exact dribble moves I use to a T. You can pause the video, you can copy them down, you can do whatever you want. My motion style, of course, is Jalen Suggs. Jalen Suggs and Caruso are the best motion styles in the game. And my jump shot is base Matt Ryan, release 1 Charles Bassey, release 2 Baluba, 100% release speed, and the blending is 65% Bassey, 35% Baluba, with the jump shot blending being about 5 or 6 ticks above push, almost about a quarter above push. If you're a visual cue learner, your visual cue green window is going to be right before you flick your wrist at the peak of your jump shot. Now, if you like to fade more with Legend Shifty Shooter, then make sure to put on Quentin Grimes base instead of Matt Ryan. That is Quentin Grimes base. It makes your fade faster, so just keep that in mind. I either use Quentin Grimes base or Matt Ryan, depending on if I'm shooting standstills and I'm ISOing or if I'm fading off of a screen. And then to finish off everything you need to know about the build, these are all my dunk packages I have equipped. Again, I'm not going to go through every single one. You can just look through the video and see what I'm putting on. Those are the best contact dunk animations in the game, as well as the best open dunk, so you don't get chase down blocked ever. I know chase down blocks aren't really a thing this year, but just to make sure that you don't, these are the best ones you can have equipped. And for our build specialization, of course, we are always going shooting on our build specialization. I just don't feel like grinding another build specialization. That's all it is. Honestly, I don't even do the ones that are best for each build. I've just already finished shooting and I'm not grinding out another one, so that just is what it is. But it works out perfect because we put 2 shooting specialization cap breakers into our mid-range, then we put 2 normal cap breakers to get it to a 96, then we have extra cap breakers to put elsewhere. But anyways, y'all, that is everything you need to know about my version of the build. Now, y'all, let's talk about cap breakers, because a lot of the times I'm dropping content because I have 16 cap breakers, obviously, so I want to show y'all what 16 cap breakers look like. And I get a lot of comments like, Grinding, how are we supposed to make these builds? I don't have 16 cap breakers like you. What am I meant to do? Basically, every time you see me drop a build that requires a ton of cap breakers, you need to break it down backwards. Now, I know that sounds crazy considering this is a video game and it sounds like I'm trying to teach you a class, but I'm being serious. Let's say, for example, you have 10 cap breakers. This is a version of the build you could make. With your 10 cap breakers, all you would do is max out your ball handle and max out your speed with ball. And the change I made because we have less cap breakers is instead of going a 91 driving dunk in the builder, we went a 93 driving dunk off rip, so we can still have fun now while we grind for our other cap breakers to get the same 96 midi and 96 driving dunk that we made the 674 in the first place eventually. But now we have to sacrifice on the 97 perimeter defense, and you would have to decide what threshold you want to go to. Maybe you want to go to 87 perimeter defense and you could cap breaker to 92 later on, or if you know you're going to get 16 cap breakers later on, then what you could do is make the build, don't upgrade it yet until you get your 16 cap breakers, and then plan to make the build later on. I will say it is something I'm struggling with because I play on builds all the time on stream and people are like, yo, drop the build, I need to see it. And then when I say say, bro, it has 16 cap breakers, you're gonna have to like dumb it down a little bit. They still want to see it so they can reverse engineer it and then make it their own with their own cap breakers included. Now, if you have absolutely zero cap breakers, I recommend going to make my first 6'8" build that I dropped 2 weeks ago. It is still the best all-around build in the game that doesn't require a single cap breaker, but still uses cap breakers effectively if you have some. So if you have like 5 to 8 cap breakers, or maybe even like 3 to 8 cap breakers, that build uses it way better than this build will, because for this build, you need to have a low ball handle and low speed with balls so you can get a maxed out rebounding, a maxed out block, maxed out interior defense. And when I'm saying maxed out, I don't mean literally maxed out, I mean like min-maxed interior defense. So you get post lockdown on bronze, which you can upgrade. You get high flying denier on bronze, which you can upgrade. You get silver box out base, you get bronze rebound chaser. You get what I'm saying. But yeah, I just wanted to explain the thought process a little bit. I can't go through like every single amount of cap breakers and show you exactly how to make it. If you have less than 10 cap breakers and you still want to make this build, you're just gonna have to find the threshold that allows you to max out your ball handle. Like, let's say you have 8 cap breakers, you need to find what threshold of ball handle and speed with ball allows you to max out your ball handle and speed with ball with just 8 cap breakers instead of 10. So maybe it's 77 ball handle and 65 speed with ball. The cap breaker screen is really wonky. If you've tried to make a cap breaker build, you know exactly what I'm talking about. It has no formula or rhythm to it at all. It's completely random. Sometimes you'll get +1 on ball handle, sometimes you'll get +7. It really makes no sense. It's just trial and error. But yeah, y'all, I just want to have a segment that said, trust me, I feel you. I'm trying really hard to give y'all the information that you asked for on streams while trying to make it beneficial for you as well, so you're not just like on the outside looking in, watching all the fun. But when 2K added all these cap breakers, of course I'm gonna want to make content about the new builds. It's just hard to make them fit certain cap breaker attributes when the builds are literally made min-max to my specific cap breaker attributes. Now, with that being said, I have 3 builds dropped that literally do not require any cap breakers, that use cap breakers very effectively once you get them. That is my very first 6'3" build, my very first 6'6" build, and my very first 6'8" build. That's why I always promote them on the streams. I genuinely feel like they passed the test of time. They still dominate. I still ISO on my 6'8" very first build, especially with my 16 caps. Now it's even better. Honestly, with 16 caps, it's overkill. I think I'm only using like 11 super effectively on that build. That's how perfect it is for new players. So make sure to go check that build out if you're not satisfied with this build with your amount of cap breakers. I really am trying, y'all. I hope y'all see it. But anyways, y'all, thank you so much for watching. I love you all. And as always, keep grinding.